Alright, welcome back. I got some stuff for the gas tank, so I'm going to show you guys. I'm trying to get the gas tank in here. So I use this 87 Jeep tank. It has it's baffled for fuel injection. I made this aluminum angle iron, mounted it up there to hold the front of the tank. I'm actually going to push the gas tank towards the passenger side of the truck to give me more room for my fuel line, my filler line, and my vent tube hose. It's going to run up and over into that back support and then run up into the other video where I showed you where my filler is going to be. But I'm trying to get all the weight over there also. That's why my battery's over there, just to even out the weight of myself. I had to cut that support right there to try to get the pump assembly set up, give it enough room. I wanted that tank up as high as I can. I don't like seeing stuff underneath my truck. So I had to clearance that out a little bit, and it's kind of a rough cut, but I'll smooth it out later on. But I drilled some holes in the flange to kind of mount it. I'm also going to have straps to hold it up in there, but I don't have those up in there yet. But I just wanted it all up, mounted. That rear crossmember right here, I'm actually going to cut out and make a new one that sits down longer than the frame and everything, so that that gas tank sits nice and level to the ground. So I'll be working on that soon, but don't mind. I just have these boxes holding everything up in place so I can get everything test fit. My fuel hoses are going to run up through this little hole right there. I have to open it up, which was real difficult just because there's a lot of layers of metal right there and some bolts and things. So I had to run bolts a little different and open that hole up just to get my hoses to fit. But that's how the tank's going to squeeze in there. Maybe run some exhaust later. I need to figure out what I'm doing. I really wanted dual pipes coming out the back. Obviously there's tons of clearance issues with that when your truck is as low as mine is, which kind of sucks unless I relocated the shocks or something. I don't know. I'm having trouble figuring out how I can make that work, but they might dump out in front of the tires, which is where they dump out right now, which actually sounds kind of cool when you're driving, and it would save a lot of exhaust plumbing. I don't know the last time I showed you guys, but making this rear crossmember for the back of my truck. This is thick, so this is like 3/16 or something steel. So I made some cutouts. I wanted to look okay. I'm gonna bend these flanges so I have 2-inch flanges. It comes down 6 inches. The old one, the frame actually comes down 4. So I have these little cutouts so it can sit in the frame but hang down low enough that my gas tank sits right on it. My piece of metal, I had already cut a chunk out before, so I had to weld this in and grind it down. You'll see, it'll make more sense once I cut more out, but I will tell you, a 3-inch hole saw on metal is unreal on your wrist. My wrists suck, so cutting those out wasn't fun, but getting there. Hopefully once I get this cross member in, the tank will be all mounted up, but I also have to cut out the old cross member with everything on my truck still on, so we'll see. It's crazy windy out. We had a tornado south of here last night, so frustrated, but done with the cross member most of the way. If I had to do it again, I think I would go buy a new piece of 1/8 inch. I had 3/16 chunk plate, so I was like, I'll use it. You know, the frame's 3/16, whatever. Unbelievable to bend. It didn't. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like it should be that hard, but it was. So this is what the cross member is going to look like. So basically, I couldn't bend these angles, so I had to cut it. I had to slice into the corners a little bit. I'm gonna weld all these seams
and grind them down and smooth all that out so you won't see it. Basically, what's happening is this is sitting inside the frame on these ends, and then this bottom flange is going to hang down low enough so that my gas tank bolts right in here or up in there. I'm not really sure. I'll see the best way how it angles my tank when I get in there. I'd almost like the tank to sit on top of the rear crossmember and then swing up and bolt into the front one. We'll see how it goes when I get it in there. That's kind of how I designed it, so it should work out, but you know, it's always different when you get over there. So about to call it a day. I'm gonna try to get this in tomorrow. I need to sand it, paint it, weld that. I might weld that tonight actually. Grind it down off camera. So I'd like to get that gas tank mounted. I really thought I was gonna get the gas tank mounted and work on exhaust today, but I'm not even done this crossmember. It took a lot longer. 1/8 inch would have been way easier. I don't think structurally it's that crazy because in reality your straps hold your tank up. Basically it's just that flange is holding it from your tank bouncing upward whenever you hit stuff on the highway. If you ever drive these, when they're lowered they jump like death whenever you hit speed bumps going 70 on the highway, 'cause they seem like the roads are getting worse and worse. Run out of money in the country. So alright, we're back. It's supposed to be like the warmest day for a while, so I'm gonna try to get some stuff done. Basically this is the old crossmember that came out. You can see how bent it is. Someone obviously tried to attach to it and tow and bend it all up. This is my new one, which also has a curve to it from my welding. But you can see this actually sits down. My new one sits down farther so that my gas tank will just sit right in here and mount there in the back. So that's what I'm working on. I'm gonna try to get the tank totally in today. I kind of bailed on getting these stainless strips, but I think I'm gonna go back and get them for gas tank straps. I should have got them, I just didn't. So I'm gonna go back and grab those later. But I'm gonna try to get the tank all the way in there, get the back fuel lines mounted up, and maybe check out this crossmember. I'm gonna cut out exhaust holes in the crossmember, and I have an aluminum drive shaft that's going in, which is a lot bigger diameter. So I need to make a bigger tunnel for that. I might try to knock the whole crossmember out and address it that way. But I have to wait until I know I can get it done in a day, put it back in, which is obviously an issue on clearance. I got to see what my options are, because it's one of those, like, if I had the bed off it'd be a lot easier. I don't. I drive my truck. My other truck's old Woody's not ready yet. It needs some tires, so we'll see. It's winter time too, so we're supposed to have a couple inches of snow coming, so I don't have a ton of time. Today's probably my day to get a lot of stuff done. This is how it mounts up. I had to notch out, basically the hole sits too close to this, so I had to notch that out so everything would sit in there. I drilled my holes. I need to go get some more button head bolts. All my bolts are like Allen head stainless button head bolts, so I'm gonna turn these around once I get it in there. But I'm gonna mark where my straps are. They're gonna attach back here. Center those up, and I'm gonna run this bottom bolt in, but I'm not gonna run the top one in until I go to paint the truck and take the bed off, because there's no way I can get that up in there straight. I'd rather wait. But that's how it mounts. Got that aluminum angle iron up in the front. You can see the button head bolts. I like it. Turned out good. It tucks really high up in there. I probably only have 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch from the top of my sending unit to my crossmember that I had to notch. But
the tank only hangs down about, I mean, this is my truck about at ride height, and it's probably, my pumpkin hangs down about 1.5 inches lower than the tank, and then my tank probably only hangs down 1 inch to 1.5 inches lower than my license plate. So I like the clearance. I like how you can't see it very well. Like I said, I pushed the tank over to the passenger side a little bit just to help with weight. I think I'm also going to put my battery in the back. Depending on where I run my exhaust, I was going to run my exhaust all the way out the back, but there's tons of clearance issues with it lowered, so I might run it out where it is right now, which is right in front of the tires. Maybe run it a little bit farther back from there. I'm trying to tuck that up as far as I can, but we'll see. I haven't totally decided. You can see all this rust coming through. Wouldn't want to fix that. I'd probably just put an engine in instead of fixing rust, but that's what we're doing. I'm gonna go get that stainless tomorrow, make my straps tomorrow. I was kind of wanting to get it done today, but I'm not. So basically I bought this Hot Rod Builders exhaust, I don't know, kit or something. Who knows? It had a bunch of pieces in it. I know this looks ridiculous, but I'm actually gonna put my mufflers on the outside of the frame rails. I wanted it on the inside, but I have a lot of issues with that as far as I don't have room. I don't know, I think I could maybe squeeze them in between the drive shaft, but also my emergency brake setup is in there. There's my blown out cab bushing, a lot of rust down here, but there's not much room, and this seems way simpler. My exhaust is going to dump out kind of where the old exhaust is dumping out, but a little farther back. So I'm going to actually notch this out and run my pipe here and then run it right up into my manifold. Hopefully this lets it tuck up a little higher if I cut this out. Hopefully I can just run it real close. I might make some little heat shields so I don't melt all my paint off, which obviously right now I don't care about, but down the road I do care about. There's tons of oil over there. The truck leaks like death. My truck's running horrible. And so I'm actually going to cut some of this out too. All this is crap. I'm pretty sure when I sandblast this truck, it's going to be the worst day of my life. But I'm going to tuck this up as close up here as I can and then just dump it out right here. That'd be nice straight pipes. My muffler's in the center here, the inlet, and the outlet is offset to that side. So I like how simple this seems to be. I am a little worried about it hanging low up here, but no matter what, it seems like my exhaust hangs pretty low. So hopefully that's okay with stuff splashing on it. Obviously that's a thing with it not being covered, but whatever. I'm gonna tuck it up in there. So hopefully that keeps it nice and clean. I have these little mounts that I gotta figure out because sorry, that was a pain. I got these little stainless mounts that I'm going to use, but I don't have any chassis to mount it to, so